Hello everyone, I'm Alberto Spitio Galvez. I'm currently taking the 8th semester of Bachelor of English as Foreign Language at University. This video is for the class testing and evaluation ELT, whose main aim is to reach a proposal of evaluation for a group of students at 7th grade. But before that, is very important to take into account the pedagogical school model. Well, this school is running a constructive learning model, which its main purpose is that the student have to learn by doing, so they have to construct their knowledge based on a question or a situation that is provided by the teachers in the classroom. Well, for this it's very important to take into account the principle of constructivism, that is, it takes time to learn. Learning is an active process in which the learner uses sensory input and constructs meaning out of it. And people, as I said, people have learned by doing at their own pace, and this is very crucial because constructivism means that the student have to empower their mental ability. Another thing that is very important to take into account before create or design an assessment system is the approach of the school. This school basically is on teaching for understanding, that the model, the primer, the first step that we have to do is to propose the student a questions. Then after that, they have to investigate, to enforce them to strengthen their prior knowledge. After that, they have to create something based on the questions. As this approach is a team group, they have to discuss about, make a reflection, and then keep on asking and asking. So here learning is a dynamic process. It is also important to make the assessment system to know the learners community and their context. So as we discussed in the previous stage, the community that we select is a group of students made of 26 students, that almost half of them are girls, and their age ranges between 12 to 14 years old, and half of them live in the Palmyra suburbs. That means that they are very wealthy, and most of them are also interested in English, but a few of them said that they are going to get into English too, but later on when they finish high school. Before design the system, the evaluation of systems is also crucial to take into account the assessment procedures. So as we know, there are three kinds of assessment. There is a diagnostics, formative, and summative. We are just concentrated for this proposal of evaluation on two of them, that is formatives and summatives. Formatives will be the most important, of course, because it has to be an integral part of the learning process. It occurs frequently in the process of the course instruction, so it's not at the end as somebody does. I also made immediate note to the learning. This is very important too. I mean, we have to give our students constantly guidance and feedback on the things that they are doing. And it might sometimes take teachers' observation only, but I might not fully agree with it, because formative evaluation includes auto-evaluation, co-evaluation, and heteroevaluation. That means that the students are also going to evaluate the teacher's performance. And finally, for a summative assessment or evaluation, so I suggest that the school might work on the comprehensive assessment of English language learning, which might be an excellent format to be adapted to guide these learners to reach the learning, listening, and speaking goals. That one, as the school have to pay, so it's not easy to get through the internet or to the web to get a free assessment like this. Then that's why I place it as a summative assessment. Then after that, it's very important to know how we have to, the thing that we have to know to take into the consideration to assess the listening and speaking skills. That was the two skills that were chosen at the previous stage of the course. Then speaking, we have to be sure your active speaking skills, take time for the activities we suggest, focus on the few aspects of speaking, don't try to cover many, guarantee some individual practice before performing, and stay your roles as a teacher. As well as in listening, we have to be sure that we activate that skill, focus on the type of listening, perfectly account for effective listening activities, provide pre and post listening. With this part, we can also involve the speaking activity. So I just remind you that nowadays we teach English with something called integrated skills. We use the writing, reading, listening, and speaking at the same time, but with this we have to emphasize first in listening and speaking. Then, well, the student have to know this in advance, the listening assessment rubric. So they have to know what they are going to be evaluated in order to make them to do their best. So here there are 4 aspects that I've considered that are quite good for them to be evaluated. The ability to focus, general understanding, listening for details, and accuracy of answers. So as you can see here, there are the ranked, the points, so the valorative, the quantitative part of the process. In the same way, we have to design a speaking assessment rubric, which includes the fluency, pronunciation, accent, vocabulary, grammar, all detail, as well as in the listening. This is a very good guidance to be able to assess or to give the final result of our students. And the proposal of evaluation through technology, well, that I consider that we have to take into account, there are 2. So the first one, comprehensive assessment of English language learning, CELA, which have 4 skill language proficiency assessment, as you can see here, and it could be administered to all English learning, from kindergarten to high school, as those kids our community of learners is at 7th grade, so this might match perfectly with their needs. As I said before, this one is not free. Then the school has to do some arrangements in order to get it. But for this formative, I consider the Randall's ESL Cyber English Listening Lab, it would be a very good platform or app for the students to improve not only listening but speaking. All right. Before that, I will show you how to interact with this Randall ESL Cyber Lab. So as you can see here, you can see all the listening activities which run from easy to difficult quizzes. As these students are at the range A2 according to the CEFR, then we can just click up here on listening and select among them the activity. Let's take a look at this. The day of the school. At the end of the school, this is the level, topic, type, and the length. But this is what I consider that is very important to engage students in the speaking part. We got here a pre-listening exercise. It also includes idioms. Over here we can watch the listening quiz, the questions, and the most important of this is the vocabulary practice and the post-listening exercises. And also this page will encourage the students to investigate. So this is the homework for them. So with this they are going to be in touch with English, not only in the school but at home as well. Well, finally, I just want to share with you the reference, and I think that maybe this video will accomplish with what is read on the guide. Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye. Have a good time.